Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my subscribers lesson. Our local time is 5:25 a.m. Sunday morning, and I'm with another live stream now. So, the title of this live stream is IELTS, RELTS, and I'm sure you're aware of it. If you're watching for the first time, if you haven't seen before, thanks for watching it silently. As you might be aware, subscribers lessons are only for the subscribers and students. Non-subscribers are not allowed to come and make comment here, but they can comment only when they can donate, and in that case they can add the comment with the donation. Okay, Davis, thanks for joining. Today's topic would be, as my student requested yesterday, past perfect tense. Before that, as usual, let's go with the BBC 6 Minutes English. Okay.
Six-Minute English from bbclearningenglish.com. Hello, this is 6-Minute English from BBC Learning English. I'm Neil.
And I'm Sam. When Neil and I record 6-Minute English face-to-face in the BBC Learning English studio, which I'm happy to say we are doing right now, we look at each other as we speak. We smile and use hand gestures and facial expressions in a type of communication called body language.
But during the COVID pandemic, everyday meetings with work colleagues, teachers and friends, and 6-Minute English recordings all moved online.
Video meetings using software like Zoom and Skype became the normal way to communicate with family and friends. And whatever happens with COVID in the future, it seems they're here to stay.
In this program, we'll be asking, how has body language changed in the world of online video meetings?
We'll meet the person who wrote the rule book for clear communication in the digital age, Erica Darwin, author of a new book, Digital Body Language.
But before that, I have a question for you, Sam, and it's about Erica Darwin. She may be a communications expert now, but growing up in Pennsylvania, she was a shy and quiet schoolgirl. So how did Erica beat her shyness and become the confident communicator she is today? Did she A, attend public speaking classes, B, copy the body language of the cool kids at school, or C, raise her hand to answer the teacher's questions, even if she didn't know the answer?
I'll guess C. She raised her hand to answer the teacher's questions.
Okay, Sam, we'll reveal the correct answer later in the program.
In face-to-face meetings, we immediately see someone's reaction to what we said through eye contact, where two people look into each other's eyes as they talk.
Unfortunately, using a web camera to make eye contact is almost impossible in online meetings, and this often creates a kind of distancing effect.
Erica Darwin makes several suggestions to help with this. See if you can hear the final suggestion she makes to Michael Rosen as part of BBC Radio 4 Word of Mouth.
And last but not least, slow down. Remember when it was completely normal to have a 1-minute pause in a room with one another because we knew we were thinking and brainstorming. If we don't hear someone speak on video, we ask them if they're on mute. Practice what I call the 5-second rule. Wait 5 seconds before speaking to make sure individuals have time to process the ideas, especially if there may be technology or accessibility issues.
Did you hear Erica's last piece of advice, Neil?
Yes, she recommends slowing down, something we do naturally face-to-face when we're thinking or brainstorming. That's discussing suggestions with a group of people to come up with new ideas or to solve problems.
Slowing down gives us time to process new information, to understand it by thinking carefully and reflecting on it.
Erica compares online body language to learning a new language. It takes practice, especially when it comes to smiling and laughing, something Michael Rosen finds hard to do in video meetings.
Hello, everyone.
Listen to him discussing this problem with Erica Darwin, the BBC Radio 4's Word of Mouth.
Do you think it's killing off people laughing and smiling in the way we do when we're all together in the live situation?
I would say that it is much less likely that we laugh and smile on camera for a few reasons. Number one, laughing is often done in unison, where we can quickly pick up the energy of someone smiling or laughing and feed off of that and laugh ourselves. When it comes...
Welcome on. Can you hear me?
Yes, Teacher Rahat. Wait.
Welcome back.
Okay, thank you.
How are you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Are you okay, Teacher Rahat, today? Are you fine?
Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you very much for asking. So, today we are with the past perfect tense, as we said yesterday. All right. So, from your conception, can you please describe me what is the past perfect tense?
I only know that past perfect. We use past perfect when there is a past action. When you want to describe something about past action.
Go on.
And also, I know that I just know that we need to use past perfect when we want to define about two action happen simultaneously in the past.
Okay.
But I get confused sometimes with the usages of present perfect and also past perfect sometimes.
Okay. That's cool. So I'm going to explain in a moment. Give me one quick second. So remember that the main difference between present perfect and past perfect is that present perfect that has happened in present time. That's why it is called present. Whereas past perfect, an action that happened in the past. And as you can remember from the name perfect, that means that job or the action was completed already in the past. There is no relation up to present now. Okay, can you see the screen by any chance?
Yes.
Okay. In many countries, the past perfect tense is called pluperfect. Okay, in many English countries, I mean many other countries, about the grammar, I heard that many European countries they call the past perfect as pluperfect. I don't know the reason why, but they are this tense is also called pluperfect. Okay, so what is past perfect? As you said, an action started in the past and finished in the past. Basically, past perfect always describes one or sometimes more than one actions, two actions. Okay, if it is a one action, then that is very easy to create the sentence. But if it is two actions in the past, then we have to understand which action took place first and which action took place second or afterward. Or sometimes it is possible that two of the action can uh, take place at the same time. Okay, one. We're
Okay.
going to give some examples and we can analyze from there. So look at the sentence. We were shocked to discover that someone had gratified. All right. This is just an example. Tooth was the hair on our front door. We were relieved that Tooth had used washable paint. This is just an example from a writing. Now look at the sentence pattern. Do you know the meaning of gratified? It's like a painting. Someone painted your door. Okay. One. Now
Okay.
we are shocked only after someone painted your door. Now you can see that the door painting was done in the past, which is past perfect. Someone had painted. Can you see? Someone had gratified this part. And
Okay.
after that, when we saw it, we were shocked or surprised, whatever the word you can use here. So that is the basic concept.
Tooth was here. Is Tooth is an people's name or?
Possibly. It's just an example
Oh,
from writing. We're going to give more examples so that it will be clear for you. The past perfect tense is for talking about something that happened if there are two actions. That is what I said. So imagine waking up one morning and stepping outside to grab the newspaper. When you're back in, you notice a mysterious message scrawled across the front door. Truth was here. That is the explanation. When you're telling the story to your friends, how you're going to describe. Okay, so this is the reason why we have to use the correct use of past perfect, one action after another or before another. So there are two possibilities, one action before another or one action after another, or the both of the actions took place at the same time. Say one example, both of the actions, like while you are driving you had to uh, look at on the main road. Okay, otherwise you would make an accident. Is that clear? Same time, two actions happening. Or you can say, while I was having lunch, I watched the TV. So you're having lunch and you're watching TV. One. So two actions can be happening same time. Or while you are having lunch, you saw the telephone or the mobile was ringing. Okay, so that is the concept of past perfect. So the general formula, as you know, subject had, past participle form of the verb. In some countries, people said verb 3 or past PPT is past participle form of the tense. Okay?
Okay.
This is the important part. One I said to you many times in conversational English. Look at that. We use past indefinite rather than past perfect. Past perfect is in written English is only we use when there are two actions. But if it is only one action, in that case, always use past indefinite or past simple. Past simple or past indefinite. Okay?
Okay.
I think I said to you this thing yesterday.
Yes.
Okay, look, I had visited Paris. We had visited Paris. This is the general way of saying. But rather than, you can say I visited Paris is also fine. And that doesn't make any difference at all.
Okay.
Okay, one. Now, in order
Yes.
to make any perfect tense, either present perfect or past perfect or future perfect, we need to know the three forms of the verb, like present tense, past tense, and past participle. And these are the some verbs we have just brought as an example. Ask, do, help, meet, read. Do you remember regular and irregular verbs? One.
Yes.
Can you please give me an example on regular and one irregular verb?
Regular. Irregular is like go, when, gone.
Very good. High five. Yes. And regular?
Regular. Um, Keep. I don't know. Regular is carry, carried, carry.
Carry, carried, carried. Yes. So remember that why we call regular verb. Regular verbs are those verbs that do not change in the past tense and past participle, apart from we add an ed at the end. Okay.
Yes.
So irregular verbs are those verbs that change in the past tense and past participle. So one example of irregular verb is go, go, went, gone. Look, present tense go, past tense is one different word, gone is another word. That's why it is called irregular. And ask is a regular verb, like ask, asked, asked. Okay. Similarly, do is an irregular verb, do, did, done. Help is a regular verb, help, helped, helped. Meet is a regular verb, meet, met, met. Actually, meet is an irregular verb because it has lost one e. Read is regular verb, it doesn't change, but sound is different.
Read, read, read.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so meet, met, met. Read, read, read. In the UK, we have got university. It's called University of Reading, not reading, okay, because it's a noun.
Reading.
Okay, now look at the sentence pattern. I had asked our sir to help me learn English. Okay, not this one. Can you see this? It is a past perfect tense.
Yes.
That means I asked our teacher to help me learn English. That is correct in written English, but if you want to speak in conversational English, you can simply say that I asked my teacher to help me learn English. That's also correct. Okay? Is that clear now?
Okay.
One, we need to understand the basic structure of the past perfect, then we can move on to other,
Can you scroll up first, sir? Okay. What is the difference with it? I have asked our sir to help me learn English. I have asked. Can we say I have asked our sir to help me learn English?
Okay.
I have.
Yes, you can say that. Now, what is the difference? I'm writing it, these two sentences. Now, you need to tell me what are the difference of these two sentences. I had asked our sir to help me learn English. I have asked our sir to help me learn English. So tell me what you understand, then we are going to explain from that point. Excuse me.
What I understand is that it is in the present, so we just spoke just now with our teacher to help me to learn English.
Great. I have asked our sir, our teacher, whatever you would say, to help me learning. That means you have asked recently, maybe 5 minutes ago, half an hour ago. Okay, but if you say that I had asked, that means you don't know, or I don't know when I had asked that our teacher. It could be last month or last week, maybe 5 years ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Okay.
Remember that the concept of present perfect is something has done at the present. There is no relation in the past, and the concept of past perfect is always in the past, and there is no relation with the present tense. Clear?
Okay.
Now we are going to give more examples, one, so that it will be clarified. So it's easy to make negative, just we use hadn't, like I had not visited Paris. We gave an example, if you remember, they visited Paris. This is the past perfect. Yeah, I had visited Paris. We had visited Paris. You had. Now for the subject, it doesn't matter whether subject is singular or plural. We always use had. I, you, she, they, are, one, Rahat, Boris Johnson, Joe Biden, everyone we can use as a subject. Then had, then past participle form of the verb. Okay? Clear now?
Yes.
Okay, now if you want like to make negative, simply bring not, like I had not. If you want to make it interrogative, just bring the had, helping verb. Like had I visited Paris? Like negative interview, hadn't I visited Paris? Right? These are the basic structures. Okay? Now we use past perfect in conditional sentences as well. Do you remember conditional?
Yes.
When to use the past perfect? Look, so what is the difference between past perfect and simple past? People are confused in past perfect and simple past, but you're confused with the present perfect and past perfect. One.
Yeah.
So remember, present is present, past is always past. That's the vital point of understanding. Is it clear? You need to just understand first that present is present and past is past. If you know the movie Kung Fu Panda, there is a great line. Yesterday was mystery. I know yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery. Today is present. That's why we call it's a gift. Today's gift, sorry. That's why it's called present. So yesterday is history. Tomorrow is mystery. And today is the gift. That's why we call it present. It's a greatest line from the movie called Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda 1.
Yeah.
Okay? It's an animated movie. So is that understandable? The basic formula,
Yes.
how it works. Now, in past, as I said, there could be two actions. One should be before, one should be after. This is the vital, second important information about using the past perfect. If there is a word before, or if you think that something has before, the first part should be past perfect, and the second part should be past indefinite or simple. Okay, can you see the word before?
Yes. Can.
Like, I had visited Paris before I went to Venice. Venice is in Italy, by the way. Okay, the patient had died before the doctor came, or the doctor had died before the patient came. We just made some sentences. Now look at this part. Before I had visited Paris, this is past perfect. One, okay?
Yes.
And then the last part will be past simple, simply, or past indefinite. Similarly, the patient had died, past perfect. And the doctor came. Similarly, the doctor had died before the patient came. Is that clear? Remember, this is a formula and you can't just violate the formula. If you find this word before, the past perfect should be the word before the first part, and past indefinite simple should be the second part. Similarly, if it starts with the word after in the middle of the sentence, the past perfect should be after, and first part should be past indefinite or simple. Okay, one. Like same sentence, I visited Paris after I had visited Venice. This is a rule as well. The patient died after the doctor had come. Can you please give me one example, both of them? Let us go to the first before, then we can go from there to more analysis.
Okay. I had watched television before you came yesterday.
Very,
Before you came.
before you can, yeah, very good. Another one?
Uh, the same word. So I can say, I watched television after you left. After you had left.
After you had left. Very good. Bravo, well done. Look.
Okay.
So this is the basic pattern of the past perfect when there are two actions. And if you remember conditional tense, conditional sentence,
Yes.
past perfect can be used in conditional, and that is, I think, third conditional, is it? Yes, third conditional. If past perfect subject would have past participle otherwise. Like if I had woken up earlier this morning, I would have started my live stream. If I had studied well, I would have been awarded a scholarship. Okay?
Okay.
Can you please make a sentence?
If I had taken breakfast, I would have not. I would have not.
Become hungry.
I would become
Hungry, say. If I had
hungry.
taken breakfast on time, I would not have become hungry. Remember that when you're making an English sentence, it should be complete, logical, sensible, and understandable. Otherwise, sometimes your readers will not be able to understand what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Very good example, though. If I had not taken breakfast on time, I would have become hungry. That means you took the breakfast on time. That's why you're not hungry now. Okay, that is the meaning of the sentence. So these are some of the examples. Past perfect with examples. Okay. Look, these are some amazing examples. Past perfect, infinity. Do you know the meaning of infinity?
I don't know.
Infinity
Go
means
ahead.
when we use to, the preposition to, and after the main form of the verb, we call them infinity. Okay, like
Sorry, sir. Come again, sir.
infinite. Infinity,
Okay.
we call infinity means, in grammar, infinity means when you use a verb after the preposition to, or to, and the verb stays in the main form or the root form. We call it infinity.
Okay.
So basically, I'm giving an example. To plus any verb, we call this infinity. Okay?
Okay.
Like you can make a sentence like in present, do you want to go home? So here, to go is infinity. Would you like to do it? There is, so what to go here? I'm just giving example for you, yes, with present tense. So when it becomes past, so it is infinite in the past. Look at this example. Huh? Can you see the highlighted example?
Yes.
I had always wanted to ask her about the scholarship opportunities. See, I had always wanted is a past perfect. It means that when I or someone visited to that person, it could be a teacher possibly, or say immigration advisor or a consultant. The person thought that I had always wanted to ask her about the scholarship opportunities in the UK or the USA or Canada or Australia, any country, I mean to say. So this part to ask is infinity here.
Infinity.
Okay, someone says this example, it is from a previous lesson. Like 1 month ago, someone said I had gone to India. That was the word. Okay, because of the word 1 month, we had to change to past indefinite, past simple, rather than past perfect. Okay, look, this is another example. I had always tried to learn grammar for writing correctly. Another example. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Okay, past perfect, we also use sometimes have, had. Like I had been to Paris 3 times. That's in the past, okay? I had my meal on time.
If I have been to Paris 3 times,
No, we are
I
not
had been
asking
to Paris.
conditional. We are just giving a simple statement. I had been to Paris 3 times. That means I visited 3 times in Paris in past. That
I have been to Paris 3 times.
now, if you say I have been, that is also correct.
Mm.
But in this case, this sentence would mean that recently you may have visited Paris as well. You went to the past, but you have also visited recently.
Okay.
Always remember that the difference between present and perfect, because tense is always related to time. If you understand the time, then you will be able to understand tense clearly. It's nothing. It will be easy peasy lemon squeezy for you.
Before this, I can understand it. So, but actually, last week I have a speaking group with Hello friends, and they raising these issues with me. So I just kept, yeah, it's quite confusing. That's why I asked you about this.
Okay, is it clear than before?
Yes, yes.
Okay, now we're going to read a story. One, it will make you more clear. Okay, past perfect story. Okay, let me know if you can see the screen clearly.
Okay, I can see it.
Past perfect story. Okay, look at these sentences patterns. Yeah, if you can please read it, then we can go from there.
Okay. Last night, Dan and Emily danced in a competition. They danced a salsa dance. They had practiced for 6 months before they danced in the competition. They were very good.
Okay, stop here, please. Yeah, look at the sentence pattern. Last night, Dane and Emily danced in a competition. You see, they have a simple past here because of the word last night. If there is a time mentioned in a sentence, we always use past simple or past indefinite. The writer could have written last night they had danced. No, that would be incorrect grammatically because of the word last night, which is yesterday. Okay, so yesterday, last week, last night, last month, last year. If it is like that, you always use past simple or past indefinite. We do not use past perfect. But look at the third sentence. Second sentence, they danced a salsa dance. Third sentence, they had practiced for 6 months before they danced in the competition. If you remember the rule of before, that if there is a
Yes.
before, we must use the past perfect, the first part. Like this one, they had danced.
Yes.
Clear now?
Yes.
Very good. Go on to the next paragraph.
Dan and Emily's friends were in the audience. Before the night, they had never seen Dan and Emily dance. In fact, Dan and Emily had never danced in front of anyone before the competition.
Okay, hang on a moment. Here's now. Look, Dane. It is not Dan. It is Dane actually. Dane and Emily's
Dane.
friends were in the audience. This is another past, simple past. Before that night, is before and again that came. They had never seen Dane and Emily dance. In fact, Dane and Emily had never danced in front of anyone before the competition. Can you see this pattern? Another past perfect. These two sentences.
Yes.
Before the night, they had never seen Dane and Emily dance. Yet dance, this word dance is a noun. But if you want to mean as a verb, then it should be dancing. They never saw him dancing, or they never saw him dance. Both are correct. Depending on the concept, dance is a noun, not a verb. If it were a verb, we must use ing. Like, I never saw one singing. Okay, like it's a good song, for example. Okay, Dane and family had never danced in front of anyone before the competition. You see again the same pattern. Before, Dane and Emily had never danced. Is it clear now?
Yes.
Very good. Now look at this pattern. Read it, please. This part.
After everyone had danced,
Danced.
the judges announced
Danced.
dance. After everyone had danced, the judges announced the winners. Dan and Emily won. They were the best dancers in the competition. Emily said she had never practiced so hard before. She was glad that they had practiced a lot.
She was glad. Okay. Now look at the sentence patterns again. After everyone had danced, the judges announced the winners. Dane and Emily won. You see, this sentence, after everyone had danced, you can see that past perfect, simply. And the judges announced the winner, that is past indefinite simple. So now we understand there are two actions. Everyone danced first, then after that, judges took the decision to announce the winner.
Yes.
Remember that. Once again, in conversational English, we do not use past perfect. You have to remember, we just simply use past indefinite or past simple. But if there are two actions in the past, then we have to be careful, and that is the time when past perfect is important in both written form as well as conversational English. And only problem is that using this word after and before. Just remember simple rule. Past perfect, if there is a word before, past perfect should be before. If there is after, past perfect should be after. Okay, after we say it sometimes, or before. Okay, to remember it.
Yes.
Like after everyone had danced, the judges announced the winners. Dane and Emily won. They were the best dancers in the competition. Emily said she had never, look, Emily said, past simple, she had never practiced, past perfect, so hard before. She was glad they had practiced a lot. Look, again, she was glad they had practiced a lot. Another past perfect. With past indefinite or past simple. Any other questions?
So, okay, I can understand in the context, but is it true? Is it correct if in the last sentence it just says that she was glad that they practiced a lot?
Because of this, word and context, you cannot say like this.
Yes.
She was glad because they had practice. When did she become glad? Now think the scenario. Because when she completed her, practicing, when the action
So
was perfect or completed, that's why it is called perfect one. Remember that. The concept
yes,
of perfect means when something has done, completed.
understood.
Okay.
So in this context, the writer wanted to stress more on the practice that had been done by the dancers. Am I
That's
right, sir?
that's right. She was glad that they had practiced a lot, and you said, "Why don't you?" She was glad they practiced a lot instead of had. Okay, there is a reason. Remember that two actions sometimes you can't do it same at the same time. In this case, you cannot be glad and practice same time. You can be glad only when you are successful, when you have completed something, right? You can be
Yes.
you can be sad as well. It can be glad as well.
Okay.
Is it understandable one? That's why
Yes, sir.
we need to use past perfect, accurately.
Okay.
Okay, there are some questions. Let us do the questions part so that it's good practice. Now look at this questions. You answer this following question using the past perfect tense. Okay, so you must use past perfect tense when you're answering. How long had Dane and Emily practiced before the competition? Do you remember?
Dan and Emily had practiced for 6 months.
Very good. Well done, bravo. See, before the night, who had seen Dane and Emily dance?
Mm,
Look at this part. One. This is past
mm,
perfect, okay?
I don't know the answer. Before that night,
No one. You see,
no one.
before that
No one.
night,
Okay.
can you see that before that night, they had never seen. So
Oh, okay.
look at this sentence. No one had seen them. So before the night, no one had seen Dane and Emily dance. That's the answer.
Before that night, no one had seen Dan and Emily dance.
Yes. Number 3. What happened after everyone had danced?
Mm, the judges had announced that Emily and Dan won the competition.
Okay. Look at the sentence pattern here again. If you
What
want to
happened?
use this part after everyone
What?
had danced,
Okay.
then you have to use past
After
simple. Yeah.
after everyone had danced, the judges announced the winners.
Yes.
Mm,
Great. Did you get the point now?
yes.
Now let us make some practice. Negative, interrogative, WH question.
They had practiced for 6 months. Negative. They had not practiced for 6 months.
Okay. Very good. Next one.
Mm,
Interrogative.
why they why they hadn't practiced for 6 months?
Interrogative. No, don't bring WH.
Or interrogative. Had they practiced for 6 months?
Yeah, yes, that's right. I cannot see here the D sound. Remember that one. It is very important. If there is S or D at the end of any word, you must pronounce it correctly, especially verb. Had they practiced for 6 months?
Had they practiced for 6 months?
Practiced. D. You must pronounce the D correctly.
Practiced. Practiced.
Practiced.
Practiced.
Again, the D
Practiced.
is not sound. One more time. Practiced.
Practiced. Practice.
Not practice is a noun, but practiced. D.
Practice.
You can see this underlined word.
Yes. Practice. Practice is not practice. Practice. Practice.
You have to practice it more, this word.
Yes.
Because if your listeners cannot hear D sound, then they'll think that it's a wrong word. Remember that.
How to say that, sir?
D. So first practice the sound da. Da. Say with me. Da.
Da.
Da. Do.
Da.
Did.
Do. Did.
Helped.
Helped.
Practiced.
Practiced.
Better than before. Asked.
Practiced. Asked.
So you do it later, like 1 to 2 minutes, 5 to 10 times each word, so that it will be helpful for you.
Practiced. Practiced.
Practiced. Though this D sounds like T, that's fine. In practiced, asked, and helped, D sounds like T. Let me show you. That will be better for you, for your understanding.
Practiced.
Hang on a moment, please. Oh, there is the past participle here. How about practiced, helped, asked? This D sounds like T. Okay. Okay, so they had not practiced for 6 months.
They had not practiced for 6 months.
Very good. Better than before. High five for you. Okay. And next question. Interrogative.
Why had they practiced for 6 months?
That is WS question. Okay. Very good. Let's move on to the next.
They had practiced. Oh, okay.
Do you need to say it one more time?
For tag questions?
Tag question, you can do it easily. Let's do this on this question.
Okay. Before that night, they had never seen Dan and Emily dance.
Dane, it is not Dan, it's
Dane.
D and Dan. Dane. Because of the E,
Dane.
it's Dane. Dane and Emily dance.
Dane. Okay. Positive. Positive. What is positive? I'm sorry. I forgot about positive.
Positive is simple statement. It is a sentence that is a never. Never means a negative sentence is there.
Oh.
So you have to make a positive sentence without changing the meaning.
Okay. Before that night, they had seen Dane and Emily dance.
Okay.
They had seen Emily
okay,
dance.
but you have changed the meaning. Remember, if you want to not changing the meaning, how can you do that?
They had never seen. They had.
So you have to change the word never.
They had seen.
Without meaning, the changing the meaning of the sentence.
They had not seen.
No, if you said they had not seen, it's also negative. It is the sentence is asking
Positive.
to make it positive.
They had seen Dane and Emily dance.
Okay, before the night they had seen Dane and Emily dance. This is positive sentence, but it has changed the meaning. But if you don't want to change the meaning, let me help you. No one had seen. Before that night, no one had seen Dane and Emily dance.
No one had seen.
No one had seen.
Okay.
So if you use no one had seen, then it is becoming a positive sentence, but the meaning is same. But it doesn't matter whether the meaning is changed or not, because we are practicing positive sentence. Remember that in positive sentence, there shouldn't be this word never or not.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
Very good. Next one, interrogative. Yes, no question is interrogative questions.
Before that night, had anyone seen Dane and Emily dance?
Very good. Bravo. Before the night, had anyone seen and had anyone seen Dane and Emily dance? Very good. Remember, we must use a question mark if it is a question. Yeah. Okay. Next one, WH question.
Before that night, had why had anyone never seen Dane and Emily dance?
Very good. It seems a bit complicated, but you have done it. You have nailed it. Bravo, one.
Yeah.
Okay. A tag question is easy peasy, so we are just ignoring that one, so that we can practice more. But if you want to do a tag question, do this one. This one will be easier. Okay. Negative. Number 3.
They had not practiced a lot.
Say it again.
They had not practiced a lot.
Very good. You understand the D sound was missing.
It's quite hard sometimes. I just realized that from you. Thank you so much, teacher Rahat. If not, I will just be using the same, making the same mistakes.
Stress it. If you think that sound is missing, stress on the letter. Stress, like practiced. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Interrogative sentence.
Had they practiced a lot?
I don't know. You better ask them. Okay. Double S question.
Why had they practiced a lot?
Very good. High five to you. Tag question. Now make it a tag question. This one.
They had practiced a lot. They had practiced a lot. Hadn't them?
They, hadn't they, not them.
Hadn't they? Hadn't they?
One more time. So remember, when you're reading, don't give too much time to read. They had practiced a lot, hadn't they?
They had practiced a lot, hadn't they?
Again, the D sound is missing. One.
Okay.
I think it is
They had.
I think it is a
Yes,
long
they-
time use. You are practicing without D.
Yes.
But it is
They.
overcomable, okay? If you just focus on the word.
Yes. They had practiced a lot, hadn't they?
Very good. All right. So now turn this following sentence into past perfect. That is another good way to practice past perfect tense. Remember the past perfect pattern?
Was perfect. Yes.
Number 1.
They had finished the game before it rained. Finished.
No, finished. Remember, you must use D, otherwise people will think that it's wrong. 1.
Yes.
They had finished the game before it rained.
They had finished the game before it rained.
Bravo. Finished. Yes. Number 2.
She had saved. How to pronounce that, sir?
Saved.
Saved.
D. That you must pronounce D. Saved.
Save
is noun. Saved is verb again. Save could be noun as well. Remember to use D, okay?
She had save. Save. Save.
Where is the D sound? Now tell me. This is the...
She had save. Save. Save.
No,
Save.
not save. Saved.
Save.
Okay, that would be your homework for the next week.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
write in your... Yeah.
D sounds.
D sound
missing.
in... Yeah, D sound missing. Then also that word. Practice regular verbs, okay?
Okay.
So have a little bit search on Google. What are regular verbs? How we can pronounce it? Saved. She had saved her money for 2 years before she bought the car.
She had saved her money for 2 years before she bought the car.
Yeah, again, this sound missing. Remember, that's your homework. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Number 3.
I had met him before he was my boss.
What is the past tense of meet?
Met. Meet. Met. Met.
And what did you say just now?
Meet, I think.
Meet, met.
Meet, met.
So?
I had met him before.
Very good. I had complete the whole sentence.
I had met him before he was my boss.
Okay. So write this word as well in your notebook. Meet. Meet, met. I had met him before he was my boss. I had met him, okay, before he was my boss. Next one.
Okay.
Number 4.
Tina said she had found my purse in her car. She had found.
She had found. That's okay. Find, found.
Okay. She woke up early because she had taken a new job.
Bravo. Well done. Okay, these are the some answers. Okay, we don't practice it last year. You do not have right to edit. Okay. All right. Any other question?
So far, I can understand it well. Just that I realized that I need to practice more on these sounds on a certain words.
Okay. I'm thinking. Hang on a second. If I can find quickly, there are some regular verbs. Yeah. That will help you understand how it can be pronounced.
Sometimes I realize that my pronunciation is quite hard for me to pronounce some of the words, Teacher Rahat. Like on the previous sessions, Teacher Sophia also make me realize that I couldn't pronounce Commissioner of Oath. I just pronounce Commissioner of Oath, O-A-T. It should be O-A-T-H with the H sounds. Oath.
Yes, and you know the reason why? TH sound has voiced and unvoiced sound. Do you remember voiced and unvoiced sound?
Yes.
So oath, the TH, this TH is unvoiced. That means we should pronounce through our mouth. Okay, I'm going
to pronounce it oath, O-A-T, which is wrong.
Yeah, oath, ta, oath. You have to touch your tooth by your tongue. Oath. Look, when you're pronouncing oath, your tongue is touching the tooth. Try it again. Oath. Look, oath. Very good. Better than before. Bravo. I'm going to show you a list quickly. You can find in internet, there are thousands of resources of these regular verbs. Okay. Can you see that? a big list with A, B, C, D. Excuse me. So I'll suggest you better have a look and practice by yourself. But if there is any word that is difficult, write on your notebook so that we can practice both together. Like accepted. Remember that. If there is D sound one more time and S sound, very often, many of, not only you, I've listened to many of our learners, it is difficult for them to pronounce, but you must pronounce it correctly, otherwise it will be incorrect on. I know that you're trying to pronounce it, but people are not able to hear whatever you're trying to pronounce. There's a stress on the word. Accepted, saved, added, admired, admitted, advised. Look, there are many words with A, many words with B. So go to this regular verbs list and you practice one time, all of them. And once again, if you find any word is difficult, write on a notebook so that we practice and we make sentences. Okay, rather than practicing this way, when we make sentence, that will be more helpful for you to become confident. Okay.
Understand? Yeah. Okay.
So this is one of the list. Hang on a second. So where is that? Yeah. So look at that in B, like back, begged, boiled, bronzed, balanced, belonged, blind, blinded, blotted. Remember, the amazing part of the regular verb is that we must use only ed, and you have to pronounce the ed correctly. And many a time this ed, though there is d, but it sounds like t. That is the amazing part of the phonetics. Though there is d, but it sounds like t, like asked, helped. Yeah. Similarly,
Help.
shaped. Okay.
Seat.
Now look at this, like calculated, choked, compared, cuffed, counted. Look, many
Counted.
uncountable number of verbs like disapproved, delivered, detected, doubted. Can you please say this word, this one?
And.
Yeah, past tense.
Ended.
Very good. That's easy. Then this one, excite.
Excite.
Past
tense. Excited.
Okay, very good. Another important thing I forgot to tell you before we finish it. If there is past participle form of a verb, that verb sometimes works as an adjective. Okay. Okay, remember that. That is another important thing to know. Especially we are learning last week with some of the students about adjective, how it can be used. Like excited. I'm excited to see you. I'm excited to meet our president. I'm excited to go to New York. I'm excited to meet you, one, for example. Okay. So in many cases, the past participle form of the verb becomes an adjective. So I'll suggest you, we have got a few more seconds, find out from the Google list of regular verbs and practice at least A, B, C to Z, whatever the verb is. It one go, and took a note if there is a difficult word or sound, then we can practice next week. Okay. And if there is anything else, always send me a message in the chat so that I can get ready and we can explain from there. Yes. Okay, thank you very much, Juan. We have got 10 seconds more. I believe that.
Thank you so much, Teacher.
No problem. If there is anything, always message me. Practice it. You take care and bye.
Okay.